Good evening or morning or day. Welcome to the Sting of Time. We just watched The Scorpion King for the 32nd time.
Yep.
It's always time for the Sting of Time.
Always around this time we feel the sting of time, but around this time we have usually already felt the sting of time because this sting of time was felt at a slightly later time than previous stings of time.
Well, we have had several Sunday watches,
Yeah.
right? So I don't think this is technically that far off.
No, this is a Friday watch.
Yes. It is my birthday. I'm 30 today.
Yes, you are extremely old today. You
the oldest
even
I've ever been.
even your clothes have aged visibly.
Yes.
And it's incredible. I can't believe you are this old.
Yeah, I made it this far.
Yes.
Do you have anything cool on your desk before we start?
On my desk right now, I have 3 things.
Okay, wait. Okay, let's do it like this, because I have
4 things
no.
technically. 5 things.
Okay. I have. Let's say I have, because I probably have maybe 28 things, maybe something like that. But I'm gonna cluster them into regions, and you can pick a region, and then I'll pick one of your 4 things. So you have to number them in your head now. I'll pick 3. Show me 3.
3. Do I have to show it to the camera?
Yeah, I have to show it.
Well, number 3 is it's my keyboard, which
okay. I didn't include my peripherals.
No, but I would only have like one thing on my desk otherwise. And it's a Steel Series keyboard. Yep. And it's very black. That's
black
number 3.
Indeed. Yeah, okay. So you want to pick mine? I think I divided it into 5. I'll go 6. 6 areas.
Okay. I'll take the most centrist area 3 then.
Okay. Okay, and then I'll divide that into 4.
Okay, so I should all right. Then
again.
I'll take the slightly less centrist choice of 3 again.
These are my business cards. Can't really see them very well.
It would be cool if it was you only have business cards, and the thing is that you sit. I actually sat and crafted some business cards.
No, so. They say my name, and then they say a little bit of an idiot, still very good, more or less. And then it has my my phone number here, which you cannot have. Or well, you have it already, but the internet can't have it.
Already know your phone number.
Do you want to know what would have happened if you picked 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
That I was gonna say that's already happened to me, but then maybe then people will worry about me probably. But it is the truth. So,
yes. I have done that both to a camera and to you in person.
Yes, that has happened. All right. Are you gonna pick another one then?
No.
1 to 5.
Okay. I'll pick again then. 1. Show me 1, and then we'll talk about the Scorpion King.
1 is my phone.
Okay.
And it has a very torn flap thing.
Magnet flap.
Yeah, it's very.
Is it torn or is it just weathered?
Chafed.
Chafed. Yeah, very chafed.
It's very chafed, extremely chafed. The magnet works, and it makes this sound.
Okay, well, okay, you get to pick again, and then we'll move on. It feels unfair if it's only me.
Okay.
So still 6 areas to begin with.
Then I'll take 6.
Okay, number 6.
The most significant number.
Yeah. Okay. In 6 there are 13 things.
I'll take lucky number 13.
Lucky number 13. It's a miniature dwarf.
Can't believe it's a dwarf.
I don't think I can focus here because I don't have a manual focus on this.
I believe maybe this dwarf is too unfathomably powerful and cannot be put into focus by so mere contraption as a manling made camera.
Yeah, there he is. He has
Very
some
good.
sort of flamethrower, I think. And he also has he has like a glove with a fist on it.
Who can't have a gloveless dwarf after all.
No, I believe this is the profiteer man himself.
A fine sneak peek into a mysterious future involving dwarves in the land.
Yes. We watched this the Scorpion King for the 32nd time.
What's the Scorpion King? I've never heard of it.
We watched it inverted.
Yes, inverted colors have long been a mythically foreshadowed modifier in the realm, but it's always been kind of pushed aside, somewhat vaguely existed as some kind of Schrodinger's modifier of or is it a joke or not? Are we gonna watch the inverted or not? But then now, as with many things in the land, we spontaneously
Did it?
the dove into an inverted color watch.
Yes.
What did you think of the inverted colors?
I'm going to say that as a movie, I think it technically, objectively, probably made the movie worse. Actually,
yeah,
because it's it's everything is white and blue. It's fucking impossible to follow. But we have seen the movie 31 times before this, which means we can follow it regardless. And because of that, and the fact that every frame is a new frame, basically, I might tie this in terms of how invested I was in watching the movie. I feel like the last time I was this invested was probably Nosferatu. And Nosferatu was way better of a watch.
Yes.
That was truly
absolutely
probably the peak watch so far.
Yes.
But this had a similar vibe for me. I never thought about how far into the movie we were. So I have to give it 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, it becomes more of a I want to say like segmented procedure or whatever, but that's not really the right word. But more, it becomes the entire movie becomes like chopped up into very small bite sizes, which you kind of like just gobble up the entire movie or something. That was a really weird analogy. I regret saying that. But one thing that really leapt out, which we talked a bit about during the watch, was that as is the ways of the land here, I started immediately talking about how this is like, if this was a setting, this would be like that everybody has blue skin and they're like in heaven or whatever, and it's a weird alternative realm kind of thing. And I kind of started to buy into that a bit in my brain, and it made the movie, or maybe not the movie, but at least the watch, it was made a lot more interesting when I started thinking about how this was like this supernatural, weird, obscure fantasy setting we're watching here, where the sun shines the darkness, and everyone has blue skin and are cross-eyed. Everybody looked like they were blind in the movie as well, which gave it another, eerie, like ethereal feel. Like when people talk to each other, they're not looking at each other because they are divine, luminous beings who cannot require not such connections, and so on. So I kind of liked that. Not gonna lie. The sky looked really cool. Also, a lot of the time.
Sometimes, not all the time, but the sky in this movie in certain parts is very blue,
Mm.
sort of, I guess like baby bluish, I would say, like a strong baby blue, which made the sky extremely sort of dull orange, like a saturated brown orange.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, you kind of notice contrast so much more in in inverted colors because
mm.
so much of the frame just becomes a fucking blur because the white and blue feel so close. So
Yeah.
when there's actual contrast, it just like pops.
Exactly. You know, when the movie when they started the movie, it's you know, it's very bright. You know, like in the real colors, it's very bright with the snow and stuff, and so it kind of started dark. But then when dark parts happen in the movie, that becomes really bright in the inverted
Mm.
colors, and we kind of said early on that, wow, this is just going to be an entire movie of this kind of thing. And but I think it was a combination of you kind of got used to it, and also it made me think a lot more about when is the movie, you know, light or dark compared to how you usually watch, you know, movies where everything is just
Mm.
gray and brown anyway. So, so it also did something really funky to like the reflection of light, or not reflection, but like how the lighting hits the faces of characters,
Mm.
which like if you look at your face now on the camera, you have, you know, the light hitting like that. You don't really think about that, but if you were inverted, that would look really fucked up.
Yeah,
It
it
would
would
look
be
like you had
black.
two faces and so on.
Yeah, it's a very stark.
A
It
stark
is,
contrast,
yeah,
if you will.
stark contrast, and sort of a reminder of, I said when Matthias is talking with Tutu about the ruby, you want to
Mm,
earn this one. I sort of instinctively thought, oh, I wonder, because I kind of already know what color something is going to be if I think about it, because I know how colors invert. But in sort of on the fly, if you don't think about it, I just like, oh, what? I wonder what color the ruby is going to be. And the ruby is just another blue. It's not,
yeah.
you know,
It doesn't become like green
yeah, it
or
doesn't really
purple
stand
or
out.
whatever.
But that's because the movie is
Orange.
basically orange sepia tone and very crushed blacks. Like everything is very dark. The shadows and basically the borders of the frame are almost always black in this movie. If it's not like in the desert,
Mm.
which are the scenes which are not that. So
The sandstorm in the desert was really good.
yeah,
Because I said before it came that the sandstorm is just gonna be like a miasma of death or whatever, because it'll be completely black, because
mm,
otherwise it's, you know, light, and it was exactly that, and it was really cool, and it also, this effect also was applied when it came to the explosion at the end
yeah,
of the movie, which was also very pleasing to the eye and the senses, not including the eyes.
yeah. The sense of touch was really
Exactly,
tingling.
it smelled like death. That's
That maybe
that's
that's it. Maybe that's a
that.
very short one.
Well, yeah, I don't know what else can we say
I
about
will
Scorpion
say
King.
that prior to us starting to watch this movie,
Mm,
uh, for well, I guess technically because of scheduling reasons, I had postponed us twice. I think
yes, the
the
rare
double,
double postpone.
yes, and I think as much as I've the last couple of views felt pretty settled into a groove at this point, which I suppose is good. If it was gonna happen, might as well happen post 30. uh, I I think I sort of dreaded watching the movie this
Yeah,
week.
I got kind of that energy from you, like like how I was kind of thinking like, so, oh well, at any time now, the missive will reach the land's borders. That it is once again time to watch the Scorpion King, but ever the missive was missing, and I was thinking about, oh, well, shall we watch Scorpion King today? Well, maybe later, like in that Team
Yeah.
Fortress 2, like later. And then what ended up happening at one point was that uh, you did reach out like, all right, it's time to watch Scorpion King. Let's go, like that kind of thing. And I wasn't at home. I
Yeah.
was outside, and I answered answered the text with like, I'm not at home, but I will be home in like very soon. I'll be home, and then you said, oh, I get that. No, we have to reschedule. So it was like, I would be home in 5 minutes. That's not good enough. I will take
Well,
it
it was.
tomorrow.
I will say it was a bit unclear as to you just said I'll be home soon.
Yeah, but
Uh,
soon means 5 minutes.
okay, but
Just
yeah,
how Dark Tide will be out soon.
I've had a pretty hectic schedule. I do have. I don't know if you remember this, but the guest of the show, Marcus.
Mm.
Uh, maybe you don't remember this. I forget if because you generally took a, but you did walk as well sometimes. But you generally went home from locals in a car. But I've gone home from locals a lot with Marcus and Jimmy and people like that.
Yes.
And both of which have been on the show. And Marcus, at some point, basically had an activity every single day of the week. He worked and then he went to this thing and did that, and he went to work, and the next day he went and played board games, and then the next day he did this, and then he had locals, and then he had and then he did a music thing.
Marcus is an experienced adventurer, as is
Yeah, but
well
I
known in
think he
land.
basically just he decided at some point that he wasn't doing enough stuff, and then he just said yes to everything, which is completely foreign
Complete. I
territory to.
wouldn't be able to relate.
Yeah, and I think I'm sort of reaching a point where I am.
You want to start saying no to everything?
No, not necessarily, but I'm saying yes to myself a lot, and I'm saying yes to being sort of low-key project lead on things, where I end up being like, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons now,
Mm-hmm.
for example, and we do it basically once a week, and I think that's very fun. But that also means that I don't not only have to play the game and be the dungeon master, I also have to write a campaign. So that's 2 days. I do video editing, right? That's something I do. I do this. I do another upcoming podcast. uh, lots of stuff, and lots of stuff that is not necessarily super easy to completely autopilot. Even this, like, it's the process of doing this, watching the movie and recording the episode is pretty autopilot. But then I also have to consider mixing the audio, rendering the video, putting it up, making it sound, all that sort of stuff. So I think this week, because I'm moving soon as well, has been everything at once, and watching the Scorpion King on top of that has felt
Like is it like
somewhat horrible.
I don't need this.
Yes.
Or maybe you could say that I don't want to speak for you, but I'm getting kind of the vibe that this might have been one of the first true I do not want to watch the Scorpion King this week kind of things, like which obviously sometimes a lot of times it's gonna feel like that. Like I just don't want to watch the Scorpion King. This is so stupid. Like the sort of, but we do it anyway. But like maybe this week was one of those like I wonder what's gonna happen if I just postpone like
Hmm.
over and over. Or like
I
what
think
if I
it's
don't
more
watch?
like if you have a lot of things to do that are actually something to do,
Yeah, exactly. But that's
then
a bit
like
what I mean. Like it suddenly puts things like this in a sort of interesting like perspective.
yeah.
Well, I mean, something like this is always put in a perspective because we are very self-aware of what we are doing here. We're
Yes.
not we're not morons or whatever, but a little bit, a lot actually. But I mean, it becomes something like uh, because we've talked before about how it's amazing how we've gone this far and there's never really been like a big something has come in the way that means we can't watch the Scorpion
Yeah.
King this week. Someone broke all their legs, or maybe they whatever like that sort of thing, where something where it's like drop the larp, we have to not do Scorpion King this week.
Yeah.
And maybe it was something that kind of came close to that, but you're technically not completely indisposed,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you kind of wish you
Like,
were. You wish you'd broken your legs. No, maybe not.
I think it's sort of psychosocially
Yeah,
divorced
exactly.
from. But on that topic, I have considered that perhaps next week we'll have to watch it twice
A
because
preemptive
yeah,
scorp.
because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, because
moving.
you'll be in a weird limbo probably
Yeah,
for a long time.
it depends. I mean, we could always just watch it at your place
Yeah, at
or
my place.
something,
Yeah,
and then and record it.
yeah, but maybe we'll do it like we'll do well. We kind of spoiled it now, I guess, but we'll do like people say like, oh, it's like on a Twitch stream or something where it's like, I bet this is recorded. I bet he's not actually live. He's
Yeah,
this
but
is a
we're never live.
yeah.
Oh, you mean we're
I know,
supposed to
I know.
LARP that we are doing it?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I don't think it matters that much. I had considered that maybe if we're gonna watch it twice, we could do one watch, which is, and we'll do them back to back, basically.
Mm.
Uh,
That's a bit of a watch on itself.
yeah,
This
and
the
we
week
could,
we watched it twice in a
yeah, and
row.
I figured we could watch one of them 50% sped up and one of them 50% slowed down.
Ah, exactly.
But I also feel like maybe, it's hard to say. I wonder which is better because if
I
you
think
start,
sped up is better.
yeah, but if you start with fast and then you go into slow,
Mm,
then I think it will feel like hell at some
yes,
point. But if you've just finished slow and then you restart the movie,
that will also feel like hell.
yeah. But then again, watching the movie twice back to back is probably hell anyway. So,
Mm.
and I don't feel like we could. I don't think that, but if we recorded it and split it up into two episodes, I don't think we'll have that much to say and that high energy for that to make two episodes.
No, it's interesting because uh, speaking of the things to say and high energy and all that kind of stuff, that I was thinking before we started this watch and before you said we're gonna watch Inverted now, I was thinking that I will have nothing to say.
Mm.
This thing, that, no matter what happens during the watch or what we talk about or whatever comes up, like plucked out of the cosmos. I felt like I would run out of things to say like 2 minutes in, and I was kind of working myself up in my brain like is this the end? Can I not talk about Scorpion King anymore? Will I have to start talking about Pathfinder or Conan or
Mm.
something like
We
that?
have
It's
had an extremely poor review of the episode where we mostly reviewed Heroes of Might and Magic 3
yes.
Towns. So I think,
I thought that was pretty fun.
yeah, it was fun for us, but I think
Yeah.
the audience did not respond to it in
Mm.
kind.
But that just tears me up inside.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, I think we'll leave
Yeah.
you with that.
We'll leave with that before I get too emotionally unstable on the inside.
Yes, I'll represent the emotionally unstable outside, and you'll be the
Mm.
inside. Together we are
Inside out,
dysfunctional.
emotionally.
Together we stand alone.
Exactly.
No
Do you think
support.
do you think people should watch the Scorpion King inverted or not inverted?
The, I think I'm gonna have to say that if you are going to watch it against our advice, don't watch it inverted. You'll probably get a headache.
Yeah, you'll get the inverted brain.